This video was sponsored by the game TAGLINE. More on that at the end of this video. Hey there, I kind of just wanted to do a gameplay commentary on this because I didn't really feel like it deserved a whole script and stuff, but one thing that I often think about is how much I play solo DRG and how little other people who also play DRG play the solo version of the game. I think it's kind of fun and good, and why I think more people should give it a shot. Because most people just kind of try public or with their friends, which is completely fair. I mean, the game was made for co-op, so yeah, I don't blame you for wanting to play it like that. But the solo is pretty good too, and I think I've played a lot more than most people. I can put however many missions I've done on screen. I have no idea at this point, but I played it a lot when I first, was really getting into the game during Endgame's rollout. I was trying to do the weekly stuff to get all the overclocks, doing the deep dive solo each week. And that's kind of when I really played most of the solo stuff I did. Yeah, it was a really good time, and now in my current state of Deep Rock, I still do weekly stuff like deep dives with friends, but I don't really have a reason to, so doing it solo doesn't really make sense anymore. But I still play it every once in a while, and when I'm getting footage, I'm usually solo. And I don't know, I just thought I'd go through some of the reasons why I enjoy this version of the game. I don't think it's better, but I think it's solid and deserves a little more love. The first thing that I really noticed when I started doing solo missions was how much more you get to take in little details about the game, and I'm sure if you watch my videos, you know I like a lot of little parts about this game. I think they put a lot of effort into making the ambient parts of Deep Rock, the parts that you don't really notice until you think about it, and you're like, oh, that's kind of neat. Like stuff like the ambient music, or the sounds that the caves make, the sounds that even the meteors make in Season 3, I think is really neat. Brings something out of the game that you might not notice when you're in a multiplayer lobby, because usually when you're in a multiplayer lobby in this game, you're more focused on your friends screaming out of fear from like a grabber or something, or like telling you about the game. So it's a little harder to notice that stuff, And I don't know, it's small, but that's just kind of stuff I think is neat about games. It is little things like that make the experience feel more immersive, I guess. I don't like that term because it's overused, but you know what I mean. It makes it more engaging. Another part of the game that I haven't talked about much, but I have been asked to, it was a while ago, but I talked to the community member who said that the difficulty of the game is something worth, going into, and I agree, because it's actually really complex in this game. I'd love to sit here and go through it, but honestly, it deserves its own video itself. It's a very complex system, but essentially, not only does the hazard change the difficulty, and it changes a lot, enemy diversity, resistance stuff, it's very complex, but it also changes depending on how many players there are. So in solo, it's different than Has 5. Like Has 5 solo is different from Has 5 4 players, because obviously there's more firepower in a lobby with 4 players. The difficulty scales really well in this game. I never really thought about it, because it's something where if it's done well, you don't think about it, and in this case it is. So yeah, but you really get a good difficulty, especially on Hazard 5. I think it's just what it should be, where it's hard enough where I'm engaged and I'm taking part of it, but it's not like, you know what I mean? It's good. It's very well balanced. And I think that's pretty neat. It's pretty hard to make a game that's co-op and intended for a certain group of players, like translate really well difficulty-wise into a solo environment and still play well. Obviously, there are still some things that kind of work less intuitively, like getting all the minerals yourself and all that stuff, but that's what Bosco's for, and that's the next part. Bosco is awesome. He can do all sorts of stuff for you. I mean, he can mine nitra, he can mine a quark and point extraction, which is so crazy. He can carry a point extraction for you if minerals are hard to get. He can build pipes, he can defend Doretta, you can tell him to attack certain enemies, he can shoot rockets if you right click. It's really cool that he has all these tools and stuff to kind of balance out not being able to have multiple players with you. That being said, you can't wear rich in solo, which is a big loss, let's be honest. The voice lines are different when you have Bosco, because when you ping it, you're telling Bosco to do stuff and not other players. You do lose we're rich or mushroom, and that sucks, because I'll ping something in single player, excited that I saw a mushroom and it'll just say like, Bosco! And I'm like, all right, man, that's a bummer. When you're the only one doing the mission, for the most part, obviously Bosco, like I said, does cover some things. You have to do all the decision making, and you can learn a lot from doing that, obviously, like what to do when a swarm's happening, where to be when a swarm happens, how to fight certain dreadnoughts is actually pretty useful in solo. You really learn how they work when they're chasing you the whole time, because obviously in a multiplayer you could just switch back and forth, have one person run the dreadnought around and the other shoot, and that's fine. It's just, you know, it's good to know how to really tackle each fight. It's also nice to not have to worry about other players sometimes. As much as like having other players around is fun, sometimes you just want to be by yourself and chill out and play a game. Deep Rock's a really great time when you just want to play a couple missions before you go to bed or something. I don't know if anyone has these games. Like I have a lot of these games, like I've mentioned in cleaning and video games, but like Power Wash Sim or Viscera Cleanup Detail, where I'll play them and they're engaging enough where there's something I'm enjoying, but I also like want to watch something on my other monitor. I know other people do this. I think the definition of this is called Subway Surfers Core. I like doing multiple things at the same time, or just having multiple pieces of entertainment. It's just fun. It might be like a little too much stimulation for my brain, but I think I need it at this point in my life. I think I'm so far gone that I just need to play a game and also watch a YouTube video. Lately it's been Fit MC's 2B2T videos. I don't know why. I started playing Minecraft again, and now I'm just like infatuated with this server that I would never play on, but it is really engaging to learn about. What a tangent. Basically, I like watching videos and playing games, and Deep Rock is such a great, like Deep Rock with other players, you can't really do that. I mean, I can't, at least. I get overstimulated because all the people are talking, all these people in the game, and I want to watch, I just want to be like alone when I'm watching the video. It's got enough stuff going on where you're engaged, but you can have a little video on the side when you're a little bored and you want to look over and you want to see Fit MC talking about Minecraft. I mentioned previously that I did a lot of deep dives when they first came out solo, and I haven't done that in a while, but I do kind of miss it. It was like definitely an era for me. Every Thursday when the deep dives would come out, I would, you know, I'd do them, and it was fun, but obviously doing them with friends feels more like, you know, it's social, and it's like a thing you can do with your friends each week, and I think that's a better use of it. But yeah, I used to do them solo to get the overclocks because I didn't really have a group to play with. I look back on that very fondly. It was like, it was a good challenge, because like, as much as Deep Rock has a lot of good challenging things, solo elite deep dives are like a very fun challenge, and if you haven't done it before, I really recommend it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about, why I think solo's kind of neat, why I played a lot of it. I hope I could kind of maybe spark some interest to give it a go, and kind of bring some people into this part of the game that isn't as explored as the multiplayer. I know it's pretty similar, but again, it plays different enough where it's a unique experience, I think. Yeah. Before I end this video though, it's kind of, with these gameplay commentary things, I feel like I can kind of interject and be more timely with things. That's pretty much everything. I have a few things cooking up, and I'm actually making some changes to the Patreon. The Patreon rewards have kind of fluctuated quite a bit, because originally I had quite a few different rewards, and not many people were very interested in some of them, and it was kind of just like a time investment that didn't really feel like it was well targeted. I feel like I just kind of was making things that people didn't want, which is fine, you know, you live and you learn. But I am going to add one video a month, one exclusive Patreon video, and it'll also be available to channel members, and that'll be starting in June. So there will be a video in June, and these are completely random. I have no idea what they're gonna be. They're gonna be, there's no rules, there are no boundaries. I will be making some goofy video, or maybe some just gameplay commentary, I don't know. Basically, if you're a channel member or a patron, you get an exclusive video each month. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. It feels weird to just talk into a microphone and not have a script. I don't do this often. I should do this more, because it's like, you know, it's still fun. I don't know. It just feels like I'm not, like I'm cheaping out. Thank you for listening to me talk about playing a video game in single player mode. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you like video games, so I'm happy to say that I'm sponsored by an upcoming game on Steam, TAGLINE. TAGLINE is being made by two small devs who reached out to me about a year ago. The game is a graffiti-based adventure featuring sprawling cityscapes covered in street art. You equip different weapons by absorbing the graffiti around the map. Not only do the weapons do damage, obviously, they also function as tools for the player to goober around with, including jump pads, dashing, and yes, even a platform gun. The devs have built a pretty engaging movement system that you can master over time, and it's fun to figure this stuff out. They have a free demo available on Steam that you can play right now, so head to the description to try it and wishlist the game to help the devs out. And thanks to Alex and Oscar from Noth Studio for sponsoring this video. I appreciate it.